negligent, and another one is due to fraud. Negligent ni salah laku ya. Fraud ni adalah macam intentionally lah. Okay, that one kita panggil fraud. Fraud berbeza dengan error ya kelas ya. Okay, faham kelas the first three terms? Okay, kalau you all diam, I assume you all faham lah ya. Okay, next one kita tengok negligent. Negligent, there are two types of negligent. Kita ada ordinary negligent and gross negligent. Okay, ordinary negligent adalah, kalau you tengok soalan, you kena identify sama ada, kalau ada negligent tu adalah ordinary ataupun gross. Okay, kalau ordinary macam susah untuk third party ambil action against the auditor. Tetapi kalau wujudnya gross negligence, it will be easier for them to take legal action against the auditors. Okay. Maksud ordinary adalah you dah conduct audit, you dah buat proper audit test, audit procedure, sample size, proper planning, proper evaluation and so on. Okay. But you still not be able to detect material misstatement. Okay, kenapa? Sebab maybe the misstatement tu dah properly planned by client, so that we not be able to detect it. Okay, maksudnya kalau auditor lain yang pergi, auditor lain conduct the same audit procedures, follow audit standard, and then maybe the other auditor also not be able to detect the wrongdoing lah ataupun the misstatement. That one kita panggil sebagai ordinary negligent. Okay. Second one adalah gross negligent. Gross negligent adalah extreme departure from the professional standard. Meaning that you skip some of the audit procedures. You skip the sample size, you tak follow audit quality, you tak check some of the document, you tak verify some of the material amount, okay. Where kalau kita panggil ada auditor datang untuk buat benda yang sama, the other auditors maybe boleh detect that material misstatement ataupun that wrongdoing. So that one kita panggil sebagai gross negligence. Faham ya kelas ya? Sebab this term you kena jawab, you akan pakai when you answer the question later on. Okay, nampak tak beza antara ordinary and gross negligence? Boleh nampak tak? Boleh faham ya? Okay. Next one adalah due care. Due care adalah what do we expect daripada you? Sebagai client, sebagai third party, what do we expect daripada you? We do expect that when you conduct the audit, you conduct the audit in professional manner. Okay, you kena guna your professional judgment, blah, 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 when conducting the audit. Okay, last one adalah fraud. Fraud adalah action taken with the knowledge. You aware benda tu salah ya. Okay. And then you have the intention to influence the other person. Okay. Ataupun for the example like you make a false representation and then you aware that the representation adalah false. Okay. So next one kita tengok lagi cases of law, common law. Kita ada dua, common law and statutory law. Now kita nak tahu beza, what's the difference between common law and statutory law, okay? Common law adalah case law develop over time. Macam mana dia terjadi based on previous case. Judge make the decision over time by judges who issue legal opinion when deciding a case. Based on previous case, kalau case tu berlaku lagi sekarang ni, bila judge make the decision, dia akan base kepada previous decision yang dibuat oleh judge before that lah. Okay. The legal principle announced then become the precedence for the judges deciding similar case in future. Okay, that one kita panggil sebagai common law. Common law ni you dah tahu kan? Liable kepada client, breach of contract ni. Liable kepada third party for the negligence as or by fraud. Okay. Bila kita kata common law dia punya result can be very subjective. Kalau you tengok sekarang lah kan sama lah kan. Kadang-kadang kes yang sama, kalau dekat VIP tak bersalah. Kalau dekat orang biasa, bersalah. Okay, guilty. Kalau dekat VIP yang kena, is not guilty. Okay, because dia punya result adalah very subjective because it depend kepada hakim tu punya judgment. Okay, and then sometimes the result can be inconsistent. Sama kan kalau you tengok sekarang ni pun, benda tu kadang-kadang benda yang sama berlaku, untuk A guilty, untuk B not guilty. Sama lah juga macam dekat kalau kita cakap pasal law kan, pasal audit, kalau benda tu berlaku dekat US, auditor liable, might be liable. Tapi kalau benda tu berlaku dekat UK, auditor mungkin tak liable, okay? Dan sometimes it depends on the location, okay? Okay, next one adalah under statutory law. Under statutory law, law ni berlaku, you might be liable kalau you satu adalah kepada your client under Companies Act lah. Okay, under Companies Act, maybe what do we have here? Under Companies Act, the auditor are liable to express your opinion on the financial statement and you fail to do so. You fail to issue the audit report. Okay, so auditor juga liable kepada various act. For the example, like you might be liable under BAFIA. BAFIA ni nama dia dah tukar ya. Could you please check ya? AMLA pun nama dia dah tukar. Anti-money laundering. Dan you juga might be liable kepada SCA. Okay. So, kenapa you liable? Sometimes you fail to report kepada higher authority. Okay, katakanlah bahawa company tu ada macam nak issue IPO, dan tak follow the requirement set up by Bursa Malaysia dan lepas, and then you do not report kepada Bursa Malaysia. Ataupun kalau you audit dekat banking sector, okay, the bank do not fulfill some of the guideline, okay, set up by central bank, and you do not report kepada bank negara. So under that situation also, you also liable, okay? Normally, kalau under statutory law, kalau you liable, dia very clear case. Okay, benda tu very clear. Okay, that's why orang akan ambil action against you kan. Cuma kalau under common law, dia macam kita still boleh argue. Okay, that's why that one akan ditentukan oleh judge lah sama ada kita liable ataupun tak liable. Okay, okay, sekarang kita nak tengok kenapa the cause of the lawsuit. The reason of the lawsuit adalah due to the expectation gap. Okay. Apa maksud expectation gap adalah the difference that exists between apa yang public expect daripada auditor. Okay. What do people expect daripada from us and what do we believe about our responsibility. Sebab kadang-kadang public they don't understand about pasal the auditor's responsibility, okay? For them, bila kita issue unqualified opinion, unmodified opinion, there is no misstatement in the financial statement. But yet, as far as we concern, kita sebagai auditor, our opinion, our main duty adalah to issue audit report, to issue opinion lah. So, bila kita issue opinion, we always say that in our opinion, the financial statement shown true and fair view. Okay, apa maksud true and fair view? Meaning that ada misstatement. Mungkin ada misstatement, but as far as we concern, the misstatement is not material. Okay, tetapi the third party ataupun the users, they don't understand about the concept, okay? And they don't understand that when we issue the audit report, we only provide reasonable assurance. Reasonable assurance that the financial statement are free from material misstatement. Tolong guna terms yang betul bila you jawab soalan. You jangan kata free from misstatement, salah ya. Free from material misstatement, okay? So the user believe that unqualified opinion provide an assurance that the entity is well managed, financially sound and there is no fraud. This one salah lah dia punya konsep kan. Sebab bila kita conduct the audit, kita ada banyak inherent limitation in conducting the audit. That's why kita tak boleh issue, tak boleh bagi absolute assurance. Kita cuma boleh provide reasonable assurance. Okay, among the inherent limitation bila kita conduct the audit, for the example like the cost. Okay, kita pilih sample size, internal control system. Okay, and then kadang-kadang ada inherent limitation adalah kadang-kadang some of the information adalah based on our judgment ataupun based on management judgment. Okay, so faham ya kelas ya? So on the other hand, auditors argue that the user is lack of understanding of the limitation of the financial statement. Okay, so basically the auditor kata bahawa sebenarnya outsiders, they don't understand about our responsibility, because bila kita buat audit, kita banyak based on the sample and based on the materiality level. Okay, dan kadang-kadang sometimes people ataupun outside them, they believe that we are the one yang prepare financial statement. Okay, so dia lupa kerja-kerja sebagai BOD punya responsibility ya. Kat sini I just list down kan the responsibility of BOD, okay, in relation to accounting function. Okay, basically sebagai board of directors, they are responsible, number one, to prepare yearly financial statement. Number two, dia kena letakkan establish adequate internal ICS, internal control system. The third one, BOD also need to safeguard the company's asset and liability, company's asset and record. Okay, and last one adalah the board of directors also need to prevent and detect fraud and error. It is not our responsibility, it is management responsibility. Okay, now kita continue dengan expectation gap. Okay, baca dulu kelas. Okay, so that the public have unreasonable expectation kepada financial statement, kepada audited financial statement. Okay, kadang-kadang kenapa berlakunya juga benda ni, sometimes it's also due to the auditor's inadequate performance. Okay, kadang-kadang due to the weakness bahagian auditor lah, auditor tak competence when they conduct the audit. Okay, so apa yang kita try to do adalah we try to narrow down the gap. Okay, this expectation gap kita kena kurangkan. Okay, sebab the wider the expectation gap, so it will increase legal action against the auditors. Jadi apa yang kita cuba buat adalah we need to educate the public about BOD punya responsibility so that dia faham apa sebenarnya kerja board of the directors dan apa bezanya kerja dia dengan kerja auditor. Okay, so component of the expectation gap dia ada dua. Okay, you all boleh baca ya. Okay, next one, the implication of the expectation gap. So apa yang jadi kalau expectation gap terlalu besar adalah it will increase the lawsuit against the auditor. Loss of confidence on auditors. Orang dah tak percaya ke auditor ya. So kalau orang dah tak percaya, tak confident kepada apa yang auditor buat, so the audit report become less reliable. You issue the audit report, people akan question about the quality or reliability of the audit report. Kalau audit report tu dah tak reliable, jadi dah tak ada value kan. You issue audit report tapi there is no value on that report. Okay, so it's make it difficult for us. Okay, so dia akan bagi bad reputation kepada auditor. Jadi macam mana kita nak narrow down the gap? Okay, starting 2002, MIA come out dengan suggestions untuk audit firm, when they issue the audit report, they should expand dia punya audit report. Expanded audit report. Okay, kalau you tengok sekarang audit report kita ada KAM, Key Audit Matters. Baca ya kelas, what is Key Audit Matters. Okay, kemudian kita letakkan disclaimer statement, disclaimer clause in the audit report. Because this disclaimer clause, dia akan escape ataupun dia akan bantu auditor escape daripada legal liability. Do you know what is disclaimer statement, class? Pernah dengar tak disclaimer statement?
Tak.
Tak. Kadang-kadang kalau ada kontrak antara you dengan insurance company, let's say you ambil insurance, you dah bayar monthly, lepas tu dia bagi kontrak, tapi kat bawah tu kan yang merah warna pink, yang font size 6 yang you baca pun tak nampak kan, dia ada disclaimer statement. Meaning that we are not responsible kepada bla 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 bla. Okay, if you use this information for whatsoever purpose. Okay, meaning that kalau you guna that information for your own benefit, we are not responsible towards the outcome. Okay, pada apa-apa yang you buat later on. Okay, that one we call it as the disclaimer statement. Okay. Kemudian kita kena educate client. Bukan saja kita kena educate client, but we also need to educate the audit committee. That's why penting Bursa Malaysia punya requirement adalah one of the audit committee members mestilah ada accounting background. One of them mestilah MIA members. Okay, so that dia faham about auditors punya responsibility. Okay. Kemudian kita kena bagi awareness kepada public. Okay, masuklah dalam Malaysia hari ini ke, Selamat Pagi Malaysia ke, dekat radio ke apa ke. So kita cerita kepada public, educate them, okay, about the nature of audit. So kita kena educate them yang bila kita buat audit, kita ada inherent limitation. Kemudian we also need to educate client as well as public about the word reasonable assurance. Okay, bila kita issue audit report, we just provide reasonable assurance, and then we not be able to give the absolute assurance on the financial statement. All this one you all dah belajar basically. Macam mana kita nak narrow down the gap? Macam mana, in order to narrow down the gap, kita kena influence public opinion. Okay, kita kena influence public opinion, kita kena lobby government to change the law. Okay, kemudian kita kena updatekan kita punya, bukan update lah, review kita punya auditing standard, kita punya accounting standard. Okay. And then you pun sebagai dekat in audit firm you also need to review and monitor you punya apa kita panggil, procedures and policy. Okay, bila you conduct di audit yang kita dah belajar dalam tajuk audit quality under monitoring. Okay, so you kena upgradekan kita punya audit program, so that the audit program will be able to detect kalau ada material error, irregularities ataupun misstatement. So we have to review our audit program so that our audit program should be updated lah. Okay. Dan kita sebagai auditor, you juga kena strictly follow the requirement of auditing standard. Dekat Malaysia, our auditing standard adalah MASA, MASA. Okay. Kalau international, kita ada International Standard of Auditing, ISA. Okay. Kemudian auditor also, you also need to be sensitive. Kena apply professional skepticism. Okay. Dan you kena be sensitive, could ada possibility wujudnya fraud when you conduct the audit. Okay, sekarang kita tengok apa yang berlaku dekat US as compared to other country. Okay, sebenarnya apa yang berlaku dekat US ni, some of it kita pakailah in other country pun apply it. Okay, so tapi dia startednya dekat US lah ya. In US, the factors contribute to high incidence of lawsuit. Okay, the main reason adalah, satu adalah evolution of the legal system. Dekat US, US adalah the first country yang make it mandatory for the audit firm to have the insurance coverage, indemnity. Okay, the indemnity adalah mandatory for the auditor. Okay, dia kena ada insurance coverage, compulsory for them to take insurance. Okay, jadi bila sekarang ni dia macam situation dia macam gini ya. Katakanlah bahawa client tu bankrupt, company tu bankrupt. Kalau company tu bankrupt, kalau you shareholder ataupun you investor yang invest dekat company ni, you want to get back your money kan. So kalau you nak dapat duit you, kalau you sue company, company tu dah tak ada duit to pay you. Kalau you sue BOD pun, Board of Directors pun tak ada duit to sue you. Okay, jadi the other alternative, apa yang dia all cuba buat adalah they sue the auditor. Because they know that auditor ada insurance coverage. Kalau dia menang, insurance company will pay to them. Okay, that one we call it as the deep pocket syndrome. Jadi orang lebih suka sue auditor rather than company ataupun BOD. Sebab dia all tu dah bankrupt, tak ada duit kan. Jadi kita sue, why nak kita sue saja auditor under negligence. So dia akan cuba correct apa-apalah information so that they be able to sue the auditor. Faham ya kelas ya? Deep pocket syndrome?
Faham, madam.
Faham ya? Dia macam bila you all later on lah kan. Kalau you kerja later on, kalau you sakit, you pergi hospital, doktor check, dia kata, oh you punya sakit ni very serious, kenakan surgery immediately. Tetapi dia akan tanya you dulu, you ada insurance coverage tak? Ada medical insurance ke tak? Kalau you kata ada, petang ni juga kita akan buat surgery kat you. Okay? Sebab dia tahu the insurance company akan bayar for the hospital bill. Tetapi kalau you kata, oh I tak ada insurance, tak ambil medical insurance, dia kata, tak apalah, you balik dulu, you fikir dulu 10 kali dan you come back. Kalau you dah ada duit, you come back here. Okay? Itu dia panggil deep pocket syndrome. Okay, the second one adalah, in US, they also provide contingency legal fees. Okay? Contingency legal fees, apa yang berlaku adalah, this one, we are talking about legal fees ya kelas. Okay. Katakanlah bahawa auditors tu ada negligent. Bila ada negligent, katakanlah bahawa you are the investor dan you lost your investment. Okay. Kemudian bila you lost the investment due to the auditor's negligent, you nak ambil legal action against auditor, you dah tak ada duit. You don't have money. Okay. Ataupun you tak tahu prosedur macam mana nak sue the auditor. Sebab you nak sue auditor nak kena bayar lawyer kan. And that is quite expensive. Okay. So apa yang berlaku adalah the lawyer akan approach the investor. Kita approach investor, tanya investor, okay ada negligent, wujudnya negligent, you nak sue tak dia? Lepas tu kalau you kata, okay I nak sue tapi I tak ada duit. Dia kata tak apa, kita sue, I help you to sue the auditor, tetapi the fees you akan bayar, kalau you menang, you akan bayar certain percentage kat I. Katakanlah bahawa kita sue auditor 20 million. Okay, I will get 30% kalau menang. Kalau kalah, you don't have to pay. Maybe you just pay 10,000 or 20,000 saja. Okay, that one kita panggil sebagai contingency legal fees. Faham ya kelas ya? The fees depending kepada outcome. Sekarang ni kan kalau you tengok in real life sekarang, ramai, especially kalau company-company yang dekat Malaysia ni lah kan. Sebab company dekat Malaysia kebanyakan director dia husband and wife. Bila dia orang berpisah, bercerai, okay, nak bercerai. So, the wife akan sue the husband untuk dapatkan some of the property. Okay, normally apa yang dia buat adalah kadang-kadang dia tak sure how much the husband punya property. So, dia akan cari audit lawyer yang willing to take contingency legal fees. Okay. So that one is quite common practice lah sebab sebab sekarang ni dekat legal dekat law punya in their profession it is allowed. Okay. And last one dekat US bila kita ada judge punya ni kebanyakan dia guna jury system. Jury system yang you biasakan jury system kan. Kalau you tengok dalam movie tu dia ada satu tempat ni dia panggil orang awam untuk dengar that case. At the end of the day, the jury will decide sama ada you liable ataupun tak liable. So bila jury yang decide, jury ni normally dia lebih banyak kepada consumer. Dia lebih banyak protect consumer rather than professional body. Faham ya kelas ya? Boleh ya? Okay, next one. I laju sangat ke ni?
Okay.
Sikit aku nak kena jalan sikit, penat duduk saja. Okay, kemudian macam mana kita nak reduce exposure kepada lawsuit? Untuk kita kurangkan exposure kepada lawsuit adalah Satu, kita kena establish strong auditing standard. Okay, kita juga kena buat peer review, maintain high quality of audit. We also need to educate the users. Kita kena lobby government to change the law supaya law tu lebih banyak protect professional line. Okay, that's why kita come out dengan Companies Act 2016. Kita nak lobby government untuk tukar Companies Act 2016 daripada 1965 ya. Nak lobby government untuk tukar the Companies Act pun ambil masa about 10 years. Okay. Dan kita kena banyak conduct research in auditing, dan kita juga kena, kita sebagai auditor, you kenalah continuing update your knowledge. Follow the audit requirement, follow the professional requirement and so on. Okay, sebagai individu, apa yang you kena buat in order to reduce exposure kepada lawsuit? Okay, so these are the things that you can do. Deal with client with high integrity. You kena tengok client punya integrity. We also need to investigate our potential client. We hire qualified auditor personnel. Kita kena follow auditing standard, maintain independent, perform high standard. Okay, document our working paper, properly documented sebab penting ya. Sebab kadang-kadang working paper ni will help you to defend yourself. Kalau ada court case against you ya, especially you punya current audit file as well as you punya permanent audit file. Engagement letter should be as clear as possible. Then you also need to obtain the representation letter. Confidentiality, you kena maintain confidentiality. Kena ada insurance coverage. Sekarang insurance coverage, if I not mistaken, the minimum insurance coverage adalah 100,000. Tapi still tak cukup ya. Tetapi kalau you tengok Big Four company, dia punya insurance coverage adalah tinggi. Okay. Sebab kalau ada court case against the auditor, jumlah dia adalah besar. Okay. Macam hari tu KPMG kena bayar kepada which company ya? About 235 million. Okay. So kemudian you also need to alert factors that may result in lawsuit. That's why kita kata kalau you nak disclose any information kepada mana-mana party, mana-mana third party ataupun regulatory, always dapatkan advice daripada legal office. Okay, done. Boleh ya kelas ya. Just recap balik. Okay, liability under statutory law. You might be liable under Companies Act, SCA, BAFIA. Under Companies Act, what do we have? Okay. Under BAFIA, BAFIA ni untuk banking sector, financial institution. Okay. This one adalah under SIA. SIA adalah trading dekat stock market. Okay. So kena ensure kalau ada IPO ke apa ke, ataupun bila dia nak jual beli saham ke, mestilah in a proper manner lah. Failure to do so, you kena report kepada SIA. Okay, Company Act. Okay, Company Act 2016. Duty to report financial statement. Okay. You also need to act sebagai whistleblower. Okay. Boleh faham kelas? Ni you order belajar ke? AMLA. AMLA adalah Anti-Money Laundering Act. Kalau you audit dekat klien tu, dan you notice yang klien tu terlibat dengan any anti-money laundering, money laundering. Kalau you nampak klien tu terlibat dengan money laundering, so you kena report kepada AMLA lah, kepada bank negara and so on. Tapi sekarang ni you rasa ramai tak orang involved dengan money laundering? Kadang-kadang pelik tengok dos yang tiba-tiba kaya raya tu kan. You pernah tengok tak drama Scammer?
Tak pernah.
Cuba tengok drama tu. Drama tu drama Melayu. Okay, tetapi give you idea macam mana scammer dia buat money laundering. Okay. Kalau you perasan, kalau macam mana dia cuci duit tu daripada illegal activity, duit judi ke, duit whatsoever lah kan. Sebab dia orang tak boleh masukkan duit tu dalam bank. Okay. Sebab nanti bank negara akan question kalau dia masukkan duit tu dalam bank in a huge amount. Itu macam berlaku dekat macam you tengok founder-founder yang duit berkepuk-kepuk tunjuk tu kan. Kenapa you tahu kena ada you bukan wondering kenapa dia orang tak simpan duit tu dekat bank. Okay. Sebab kalau dia simpan duit tu dekat bank, LHDN akan pergi jumpa dia orang lembaga hasil dalam negeri. Okay, so bank negara akan question kat mana dia dapat the money, akan check dia punya financial statement ya. That's the reasons why bila dia beli barang, these people dia akan beli barang on cash basis. Okay, I pernah nampak kalau I pergi dekat Dior beli handbag, macam dia orang beli handbag 20,000 kan dia bayar cash saja. So I macam tercengang kenapa dia orang bayar cash, kenapa why don't they use the credit card. Okay, so all these people tak tahu, I bukan nak kata dia all money laundering kan, tetapi there are some business yang dia buat where the business dia are tak transparent ataupun dia tak declare dia punya revenue to avoid by paying tax. Okay, so kalau you tengok dalam cerita scammer, you boleh tengoklah kan siapa yang berlakunya, Siti Saleha and so on ya. Macam mana all these people clean their money, okay? Macam mana, macam dia set up company ataupun dia set up business yang kecil-kecil kan? Lepas tu as if walaupun tak ada transaction dalam that business, tapi dia akan buat macam ada transaction. So duit tu dia boleh masukkan dalam dia punya bank account, okay? Macam kalau you perhatikan kan, kalau kadang-kadang kalau you pergi mall kan, you nampak macam kedai-kedai karpet, kedai-kedai macam some of the shop tu kan macam tak ada orang pun dalam kedai dia kan, tapi dia boleh be able to survive. Okay, so that one adalah how, bukan I nak tuduh dia orang buat money laundering kan, tapi kalau you tengok that one adalah part of the apa kita panggil ya, dia punya cara untuk dia cuci duit dia. Dia just set up company, tak kisahlah apa-apa pun kan. Tetapi walaupun tak ada orang pergi company pun tak beli barang dengan dia pun tak apa. Janji dia ada company untuk dia cuci duit tu. Okay. And then the same thing goes to the crowdfunding. Macam foundation, yayasan yang orang tubuh pun. Okay, that one adalah salah satu aktiviti yang diorang boleh guna untuk money laundering. Okay, kalau you ada masa, you boleh baca, just tengok cerita tu. I think berapa episod ya, 15 episod kot. Tapi you tengok dia punya aktiviti lah, macam mana kita, some people boleh buat money laundering and then cannot be able to detect by higher authority. Ataupun maybe higher authority boleh detect kan, tapi dia buat macam tak nampak je kan. Okay, so last one adalah SCA. SCA adalah kalau ada IPO lah, for the example like initial public offering, there are certain procedures that need to be followed by company kalau dia nak issue new share. Okay, so if they fail to follow the requirement, so you can report kepada SCA. Okay. Okay, kalau company tu nak issue share, you kena buat apa biasanya?
IPO.
You kena prepare prospectus, okay? Tetapi you do not prepare the prospectus. Dalam prospectus tu mesti ada forecasted income statement. Biasanya 3 to 5 years forecasted income statement. Okay. Okay, now continue. Liability. Now kita tengok liability under common law pula ya. Liability kepada client as well as liability kepada third party. Kepada klien kita liable by using the engagement letter. Ada contract. Dalam kontrak tu ada dalam bentuk express term ataupun implied term lah. Express term adalah benda yang ada dalam black and white, kita panggil sebagai express term. Implied term adalah we assume, macam bukan assume, understood by both party. Okay, for the example like understood, kita sebagai auditor, kita kena buat kerja in a professional manner. Okay, directors, dia punya responsibility adalah to prepare financial statement. Benda tu tak adalah dalam engagement letter kan, tapi understood by auditor and client. Okay, liability to client. Baca dia lebih kurang sama. Kita ni dia ulang benda sama. Dah, this one. Okay, apa maksud breach of contract? You fail to fulfill the requirement of the engagement letter. Okay. Under thought adalah basically kita we expect the auditor perform the professional service with due care. Mesti ada skill, knowledge, judgment and so on. Okay. Okay. I laju sikit boleh ya kelas ya? Okay, now kita tengok liability kepada negligent. Okay. Kalau selain daripada breach of contract, a client dan third party boleh sue auditor under tort. Undang-undang tort. Okay. So, normally dalam under tort, kita akan sue auditor due to negligent. Okay. Apa maksud negligent? Okay. ICAEW, dia bagi solid definition of negligent. Okay. So, negligent maksudnya adalah omission, okay, fail to exercise that degree of professional care and skill appropriate to the circumstances of the case. You fail to exercise your duty, okay, which is expected. Okay, apa yang kita expect daripada you fail to fulfill that responsibility. That one kita panggil sebagai negligent. Negligent ni both client boleh ambil action, third party also can take the legal action against the auditor. Okay. Okay, boleh ya kelas ya so far?
Boleh, Madam.
Okay.
Boleh, Madam.
Boleh ya? Okay. Sekarang kita nak tengok this one yang biasa tanya dalam exam. This one memang you kena tahu dan gunakan this one bila you jawab soalan. Okay. This one adalah liability kepada third party. Bila third party ataupun client nak ambil legal action against the auditor under tort, under common law, okay, they have to prove the following. The plaintiff must prove the following before take the legal action against the auditor. Number one, dia kena step by step ya kelas ya. Number one adalah wujudnya duty of care. Okay, duty of care antara client dengan auditor tak ada masalah. Sebab kita dah ada privity relationship. Okay. Memang kita liable, kita owe duty of care dengan our client. Okay. Tetapi kepada third party, kalau under privity relationship, kita do not owe any duty of care kepada third party. Tetapi under certain situation, walaupun no contract, kita masih lagi owe duty of care to the third party. This one kita akan tengok cases. Kita akan tengok a few cases to determine wujudnya duty of care sama ada we owe duty of care to the third party or not. Okay. Selepas you boleh establish adanya duty of care, kemudian you boleh go kepada second test. Second test kita nak tengok sama ada breach of duty of care. Okay, breach of duty of care, the auditor has failed to act in accordance with due care. Okay, tak follow accounting standard, do not act with reasonable ni. Kemudian soalan, okay. Kat sini, kalau you boleh prove adanya gross negligence, okay. So under this situation, mungkin auditors liable. Kalau ordinary negligence, is very difficult to sue the auditor under ordinary negligence. Tetapi kalau you boleh buktikan ada gross negligence, so plaintiff mungkin akan menang lah kalau dia sue the auditors. Okay, that's why penting bila you baca soalan, you kena tengok sama ada the negligence yang ada tu gross negligence ataupun ordinary negligence. Okay. The third one adalah, selepas second one, third one adalah adanya causal relationship. Causal relationship meaning that ada kaitan antara loss, how much you lost dengan auditors negligence. Maksudnya you punya loss of investment is due to the auditor's negligence and not due to the other factors. Okay. So, kalau you boleh buktikan adanya relationship ataupun there is a causal relationship between the two, so you can take legal action against the auditors. Okay. And number 4 adalah ada damage. And the damage adalah actual damage. Dalam bentuk ringgit lah. Kalau you lost, you nak sue auditor. Kenapa you nak sue auditor? Sebab I dapat investment 300,000, I lost my 300,000. Okay. Janganlah pula you kata, oh I nak sue auditor sebab due to your negligence, I dah malu, I dah depression, I dah ada anxiety, I bla 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 bla. Itu tak boleh nak quantify dalam bentuk ringgit and sen. Faham ya kelas ya? Boleh ya? 4 benda ni you kena tahu, kena ingat, kena faham. 1, duty of care, breach of the duty of care, causal relationship and damage. You all dah penat ke? You all nak break dulu ke? Ke nak habis awal? Lepas ni kita nak tengok cases saja. Sambung?
Madam, boleh sambung?
Sambung ya? Okay. Sebab takut apa ni? Sebab I pun nak kena keluar kejap lagi. Apa ni? So I continue saja ya. I hope you all okay. Okay. Sebab I nak pergi sampai ada slide ini je. Sampai slide 37. But ada some of the slide in between I skip lah. Sebab dia tunjuk diagram saja. Okay. Okay. Now kita tengok duty of care. Duty of care to client. You all baca dulu. Okay, boleh ya? Faham ya? Okay, dah. Sekarang kita nak tengok kat sini. Okay, duty of care to the third party. Okay, this one adalah action taken by the third party. Okay, third party yang take legal actions against the auditor. Third party cuma boleh ambil action under tort in negligence sahaja. Tak boleh breach of contract. Itu kena betul-betul faham, okay? For the example, ada legal actions. For the example, like katakanlah bahawa auditors involved in allegation of misrepresented financial statement, inaccurate audit report, okay? However, this area of liability is very complex lah, okay? Because dia depends kepada court punya, judge punya decision, and the judge decision adalah inconsistent. That's why kalau you tengok kenapa some cases, kalau you tengok macam menteri-menteri yang kena dakwa tu kan, kadang-kadang dia orang risau sangat judge mana yang akan tengok dia punya case, because the judge punya decision sometimes adalah inconsistent. Okay, so apa yang paling susah untuk you buat adalah nak prove sama ada negligent, auditors tu negligent ke tak negligent. Okay, so in UK, sebab sekarang kita tengok UK, sebab our law banyak base kepada UK punya law. Okay, until 1960 under the UK common law, accountant tak ada any liability kepada third party. Third party ambil lah legal action apa benda ke kat auditor, auditor tak liable sebab kita guna privity of contract. Walaupun auditors negligent and then third party loss dia punya investment, kalau dia saman auditor pun auditor still tak liable sebab in UK kita guna privity of contract. Kalau tak ada contract antara I dengan you, I do not owe any duty of care kepada other third party. Okay. Apa maksud privity of contract? Inilah, obligation tu cuma wujud kalau ada contract. Kalau tak ada contract, okay, there is no obligation ataupun there is no duty of care. Okay. Okay, there are a few cases yang kita akan tengok evolution of liability and based on the case lah. Under duty of care, kita akan tengok adalah the first case adalah ultra mayor's case. Second one adalah case one adalah Chandler, Hadley, JEB Fastener, Caparo, and sebenarnya banyak case yang melibatkan auditor ya. So kita akan fokus kepada 6 case ni saja. Royal Bank of Scotland case ini berlaku dekat Malaysia lah. Dan dekat Malaysia another case yang popular adalah Tadasma. Kejap nampak company tu, company apa nama dia dah? Transmile. Transmile case adalah one of the case yang popular yang paling popular dan paling famous lah yang berlaku 10 tahun lepas kot, rasa kot 15 tahun lepas ya. This one adalah GLC, government listed company. Okay. Under this case pun shareholder and investor take the legal action against the auditor. Okay. Okay, sekarang kita tengok case by case. Okay. You kena tahu nama case ya. You kena tahu nama case, cerita dia dan the outcome. Tetapi cerita dia tu tak perlu cerita dalam, bila jawab tak perlu tulis. Okay. So baca case ni dulu kelas. The first case. Kebanyakan kes melibatkan auditor, cerita dia lebih kurang sama je. Okay. Ultramarines adalah plaintiff bank. Okay, take the legal action against the auditor. Okay, the plaintiff was approached for a loan. Okay, kemudian biasalah kalau klien nak dapatkan loan, so kita akan minta dia prepare financial statement. The auditor were aware that the audit report will be used to obtain the loan, tetapi dia tak tahu daripada which bank. So kadang-kadang klien ni dia akan apply bank daripada a few bank. Okay, so kita tak tahu bank mana yang akan approve the loan. Selepas dia bagi loan, the bank bankrupt. Okay, so the plaintiff sue the auditors due to the negligence sebab auditors fail to detect or report deceptive accounting entries that hide the company problem. So selepas dia sue the auditor, so the judge make the decision. Kes ni berlaku pada tahun 1931 ya kelas, ingat ya. The judge said that auditor tak owe pun any duty of care kepada plaintiff. Okay, based on the doctrine of privity of contract. The judge said that kalau auditor tu liable due to negligence, an accountant may be exposed to a liability to an interminate amount for interminate time and interminate class. Dia kata kalau auditor liable kepada orang tu, auditor akan liable kepada semua orang yang pakai, yang guna ataupun yang baca dia punya audit report. So under this situation, auditors not liable. Okay, kat sini dia bagi summary of the case. Okay, you all baca sendirilah ya. Okay, second case adalah Chandler case. Chandler case ni berlaku pada tahun 1951. Okay, 20 years later lah ya. So, sama juga cerita dia lebih kurang. Kebanyakan kes dia, cerita dia lebih kurang sama juga. Minta duit, pinjam duit, kemudian tak boleh bayar. Okay. The plaintiff invest in the company. Bila kita invest the company, based on the audited financial statement, negligently prepared. Okay, selepas dia invest dalam company tu, Chandler invest dekat company tu insolvent, bankrupt. Okay, kemudian Chandler sue the auditor, and that auditor did not deny yang the auditor masa tu kebal kan, you buat salah pun you tak guilty. Okay, auditors did not deny their negligence, and then they know that the plaintiff akan guna the audited financial statement for investment decision. Apa judge kata? Sama result dia. Dia based on the Ultramarines case. I pun lupa nama case kadang-kadang. Okay. Dia based on the Ultramarines case, absent of the contractual relationship. Jadi auditor do not owe any duty of care kepada plaintiff. Kenapa benda ni berlaku? Sebab dekat UK kita guna doctrine of privity of contract. So under this case, walaupun auditor kata, oh memang I negligently prepare the financial statement, audit the financial statement, because I know that whatever happen, the third party cannot take legal action against the auditor because there is no privity relationship. Okay, jadi auditor tu masa tu kebal lah kan. Boleh faham kelas ya? Faham ya? Dia sama lebih kurang sama juga. Okay. Kebal ke tak kebal? Macam kita punya menteri-menteri sekarang lah kan. Kebal ke tak menteri kita? Kebal lah kan? Okay. Next one adalah kita tengok kepada Chandler case. Chandler case tidak melibatkan auditor. Okay? Dalam Chandler case, dia tak melibatkan auditor. Tetapi dalam Chandler case, dia punya outcome bagi impact kepada our profession. Okay? So, baca dulu Chandler case ni kelas. Chandler case dia macam, bukan Chandler, Hadley case ya. Hadley case adalah, okay. This one adalah Hadley. Hadley adalah advertising company and this one adalah client company lah ya. Company. Apa yang berlaku adalah this company apply untuk dapatkan kredit daripada Hadley. Dia apply loan daripada Hadley. Okay. So Hadley sebelum bagi loan kepada this company, this company also ada bank. Dia punya merchant bank kat sini yang biasa deal dengan this company. Yang dia punya customer dia lah ya. This company ni adalah customer kepada this merchant bank. Okay. Jadi apa yang Hadley buat adalah sebelum bagi loan kepada this company, Hadley minta credit reference daripada this merchant bank. Nak tahu status company tu lah ya. Sama ada should I give loan kepada this company or not. Okay. Dia punya financial stability macam mana and so on. Okay. So this merchant bank without properly checking the company punya financial statement bagi reference kepada Hadley. So based on his recommendation, Hadley provide loan kepada company ni. Dia ada 3 parti yang terlibat. Okay, kalau biasa kita tengok tadi 2 parti saja ya. Ni ada the third party. Okay. Jadi selepas dapat loan, company bankrupt. Jadi Hadley, okay, sue the merchant bank, Heller and partner. Okay, faham tak kelas situation dia? Faham ya? The bank approached by Hadley. Kemudian the reference was supplied by the bank without carefully check of the record. Hadley provide this one adalah Easy Power. Okay, provide loan kepada Easy Power. Easy Power bankrupt. Okay. Kemudian apa yang Hadley buat adalah Hadley sue the merchant bank. The bank deny dia punya responsibility sebab dia kata I do not owe any duty of care kepada you sebab dia tengok kepada case Chandler case as well as Ultramarus case. Okay, so they do not owe any duty of care kepada third party. Okay, tengok judge punya decision. Okay. The judge decision adalah the House of Lords held that bank, okay, bank owe duty of care kepada plaintiff even though there is no contract. Tetapi you still owe duty of care kepada third party on the ground that the bank is responsible to give information with due care. Okay, once he knew, okay, or ought to have known that Hadley will rely on the information to make the decision. The judge kata walaupun tak ada kontrak, tetapi you kena deliver information with due care sebab that person personally ask your opinion ataupun ask your opinion lah ataupun ask you to deliver to give them the suggestion ataupun to give them the report. Okay, so if you fail to give proper report kepada the other party, you dah owe duty of care sebab dia personally minta information daripada you. Faham kelas ya? Kenapa the judge kata adanya wujudnya duty of care? Okay, sampai situ faham kelas? Walaupun there is no contract, okay? Tak ada contract pun, tetapi sebenarnya you still owe duty of care sebab orang tu personally ask the information daripada you. Faham? Faham ya? Okay. Jadi the judge punya decision do not follow decision yang dibuat under Ultramarus as well as under Chandler case. So dalam situation, the privity standard is no longer strictly used as a defense measure. Jadi basically, merchant bank under this situation, merchant bank liable kepada Hadley. Okay, faham ya kelas ya? Okay, so tetapi, however, under this situation, merchant bank escape daripada liability. Kenapa dia boleh escape daripada liability? Sebab masa dia buat report, dia masukkan disclaimer statement. Disclaimer of responsibility dalam report tu dia masukkan disclaimer. So based on that disclaimer statement, he escaped daripada legal liability. Okay, for the example, dalam disclaimer statement adalah macam ni lah. We must emphasize that the report has been prepared solely for your own record and no responsibility, kat sini yang penting ya, or no warranty will be accepted by our firm to any third party who may use that report for the decision. So, based on that case, he escaped daripada legal liability. So, this case juga akan digunakan, also apply in our profession. Okay. Jadi, apa implication yang berlaku here adalah, kita punya liability bertambah, expanded lah. Kalau dulu auditors cuma liable kepada kita cuma liable kepada klien saja. Kita tak liable kepada third party. Okay? Sebab kalau kita buat prepare account negligent pun, orang sue kita pun, kita still tak liable sebab kita based on the privity relationship. Okay? Tetapi kemudian, based on this decision, judge punya decision, auditor's liability bertambah. Sekarang, you akan liable kepada klien dan you juga akan liable kepada non. This one kita panggil sebagai non-third party. Okay. So, our liability dah makin bertambah. Okay, faham ya kelas ya? Any questions sampai sini?
Okay, Madam.
Boleh follow ya? Okay. Baca this one class. Okay. Kat sini yang pentingnya ni auditors knew the identify of the third party yang rely kepada dia punya audited statement to make the decision. So the judge dah ready untuk letakkan liability kepada auditor. Faham ya? Now we look at the next one. Dalam case Hadler tadi, non-third party ya. Sekarang kita nak tengok situation unknown third party. Okay, this one adalah unknown third party. Sebab I padamkanlah dulu ni. Banyak sangat. Okay. Baca dulu kelas unknown third party, JEB fastener. Case scenario dia lebih kurang sama. JEB acquire, limited acquire and entire share of BG fastener. Dia beli semua share. So in doing the audit, the auditor did not verify the net realizable value. Instead of they just accepting the figures. Accounting policy kata the inventory should be valued at lower of cost and net realizable value. It should be whichever yang lower, okay? So if the inventory carried at cost, the company would show substantial loss instead of small profit. Sebab dalam financial statement tu nampak profit. Okay, tetapi kalau the inventory be value at cost, sebenarnya company tu dah dapat loss. Okay, so the plaintiff brought an action against the auditors claiming the accounts negligently audited by auditors and then they rely on their account to acquire JEB fastener. Okay. And then auditor contended that they did not owe any duty of care kepada plaintiff. Dia kata kalau ada pun, dia cuma owe duty of care kepada person who specifically asked for the information. That one they refer kepada case Hadler case tadilah. Sebab tadi Hadler case dia macam specifically ask the information. Tetapi dalam this situation, JEB tak minta, personally tak minta information tu daripada auditor. Okay. So, in this case, dia kata JEB did not request the information. So, JEB cuma guna information yang available dekat public. Okay, yang available to public lah. So, auditor kata kalau I liable pun, I cuma liable kepada klien dan kepada non-third party. Tetapi you tak pernah minta apa-apa information pada I. So, you just guna whatever, audited financial statement to make the decision. So, under that situation, I do not owe any duty of care kepada you. Okay. Dalam soalan, you kena baca soalan tu betul-betul. Okay. So, kat sini, the judge made the decision. Nanti I explain dulu ya dalam soalan macam mana ya. The judge punya decision adalah the court held a favor of plaintiff. Okay. Walaupun plaintiff tu tak adalah specifically minta you information, tetapi you still liable kepada plaintiff. Okay. Baca betul-betul ya kelas ya. On the what ground, okay? On the ground that auditors knew at the time the account were prepared, the company needed outside financial support or ought reasonably to have foreseen that takeover was a solution to financial problem faced by BG. Okay? So under the situation, the auditor owe duty of care kepada JEB Fastener in preparing the audited financial statement. Okay, you all baca dulu lah sekali lalu kelas. Cuba fahamkan. Faham kelas ya?
Faham, Madam.
Faham ya? So bila you baca soalan, you nampak company tu ada financial problem. Kadang-kadang soalan dia tak cerita company tu ada financial problem ya. Tapi dia akan bagi scenario, for example, like company having financial difficulty. Kalau company tu having financial difficulty, technically kita kata company tu ada in a situation, cuba dapatkan loan daripada financial institution. Kalau tak dapatkan loan daripada financial institution, dia cuba attract other investor to invest in their company. Tetapi kita tak tahu daripada siapa. Siapa yang akan invest. Okay? Sebab kalau tak ada loan, tak ada orang invest, the company not be able to survive. Okay? Jadi apa yang berlaku kat sini adalah ada apa efek kepada profession adalah the profession become more risky. Okay? So the court has burdened kita punya liability to the extent that they could potentially owe a duty of care to almost everyone who rely on the audited financial statement ataupun who rely on our opinion. Jadi the implication kat sini adalah kalau previously kita cuma liable kepada klien, kemudian kita liable kepada klien campur dengan non-third party, sekarang kita akan liable kepada unknown. Okay, jadi kita punya liability makin bertambah. Faham ya kelas ya? Bila judge buat decision, benda ni akan bagi implication kepada auditor. Okay? Jadi our profession akan jadi lagi, risiko dia lagi tinggi lah. Okay, it's become lagi risky. Okay, faham ya kelas ya?
Okay, Madam.
Boleh ya? Okay. Ataupun dia ada lagi satu situation. For the example, katakanlah bahawa ia adalah company ni having financial difficulty. Okay. Kalau company tu having financial difficulty, dia cuba dapatkan loan. Bila dia dapatkan loan, bank akan minta dia akan prepare interim audit. Okay. So, bila dia apply loan, dia akan apply loan ni kepada a few bank. Dia akan apply mana-mana bank lah. Dia katakanlah bahawa dia hantar application kepada 8 bank. So kita tak tahu bank mana yang akan bagi loan kepada this company. Okay. So under this situation pun kita panggil sebagai liability kepada unknown third party. Boleh ya? Okay. Okay, sorry. I nak berhenti sampai sini lah, sampai 42. Okay, yang ni sikit-sikit aja kelas ya. Okay, this one adalah ni. Okay, so now kita tengok liability under common law, the type of relationship between a plaintiff and auditor ya. So selepas case JEB Fastener, so kita come out dengan benda the 4 types of relationship between plaintiff and auditor. Nombor 1 adalah privity relationship. Privity relationship adalah relationship antara plaintiff and auditor client. Client campur dengan auditor. Okay. Second one adalah primary beneficiary relationship. This one adalah unknown third party ya kelas. I punya tablet pun dah panas dah. Okay, non third party dengan auditor, kalau kita tengok adalah case Hadley case, okay. Kemudian foreseen party relationship, this one adalah unknown third party. Case dia adalah JEB Fastener. Last one adalah foreseeable party relationship. Foreseeable party relationship adalah individu investor, mana-mana orang pun boleh sue di auditors. This one later on kita akan tengok dalam case Kaparo, and in our country kita tengok dalam case Transmile case, okay. This one you boleh baca ya, privity relationship. Okay, kemudian primary beneficiary relationship. Okay, baca dulu ya kelas. Primary beneficiary relationship. Okay ya. Kemudian kita juga ada third one, kita ada foreseen party relationship. Okay. Case dia adalah case JEB Fastener, unknown third party ya. And last one adalah case foreseeable party relationship. Okay, that one kita akan tengok later on lah. Okay. Dalam case Kaparo. Okay. So this one, Kaparo I will cover case Kaparo pada minggu depan. Okay, minggu depan, on Monday, I akan habiskan tajuk ni. Okay. So, do you have any problem class? Any question?
No, madam.
Tak ada ya?
No, madam.
Faham ke kelas this topic?
Faham.
Boleh faham tak? Nampak tak daripada expectation gap kepada statutory law, common law, okay, and then daripada macam mana case to develop from year to year. Dan kalau you baca lately ni lagi banyak case yang melibatkan auditor, okay, sebab sekarang ni corruption terlalu banyak lah kan. Bila berlaku corruption, benda-benda ni berlaku lah, okay. Okay, any question?